What's up, everybody? You've made it. You've really made it to the first pilot episode of Anything, Everything, and Nothing at All. It's me, the host with the most, Christian Davis, and I'm so excited to have you with me on this wild and ridiculous and random ride. This podcast is all about diving in to the most interesting bits of life. Bizarre, thought-provoking, random, stupid, all things are going to be discussed on the Anything, Everything, and Nothing at All podcast, where we truly talk about anything, everything, and nothing at all. Now, I'm going to introduce myself if you don't know me. And the odds are, if you know me, you're probably listening to this podcast. And if you don't know me, somebody told you to listen to this podcast. So, I'm Christian Davis. I am a 6th through 12th grade band director in South Korea. And I'm from the United States. And I started this podcast because I'm bored. Okay? I'm just really bored sometimes. And people always tell me, like, oh, you're so funny, you should start a podcast, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, here we go. You're welcome, America, and whoever else is listening to this godforsaken podcast. So, we are going to discuss our first segment of the Anything, Everything, and Nothing at All on the pilot episode, the one everybody's been waiting for. The Anything segment, the fact of the day. We're going to do a deep dive into this fact and see what other information we can find. And because we're all, we all need to learn together. That's what this is all about. Okay? Now, fact of the day. Here we go. Listen closely. Bananas are berries, but strawberries are not. Yeah, that's going to be an issue. Let's dive into this. Bananas are technically classified as berries. Okay, let's get into that. The reason bananas are considered berries has everything to do with how they grow and their internal structure. In botanical terms, a berry is a fruit that develops from the ovary of a single flower with one or more seeds embedded in the fleshy part of the fruit. So, like, if you cut open a banana, and like the little black dots, those are the seeds, okay? We're eating banana seeds, and that's why it's a berry, because the seeds are inside. The banana flower develops into a fruit with tiny seeds inside, which, while small and barely noticeable in modern bananas, are still there. Now, here's the crazy part. They're barely noticeable in modern bananas. Let's go to Google and find out why the seeds are not very noticeable. Why aren't seeds noticeable in bananas anymore? Let's see. Bananas are cloned. TheDailyMeal.com. Okay, we're getting somewhere, people. Here we go. Yeah, they're talking about it being a berry and whatever. Some varieties used to have seeds, but they were bred so that they no longer need them to reproduce because bananas are cloned. All modern commercial bananas are sterile. Well, that's interesting. Sterile bananas. You'll find one with the vestigial, what does that word mean? Vestigial. Forming a very small remnant of something that was much larger or more noticeable. Okay. In biology, degenerate, rudimentary, or atrophied, having become functionless in the course of evolution. Okay, we're talking about that vestigial. Okay. Let's make sure I'm saying that right.
Vestigial.
Okay, I'm right. Great. Now, perhaps you've occasionally seen little black dots around the fruit center, but those aren't about to produce anything except maybe hesitation. Banana trees aren't exactly trees either. They're technically rhizomes, more closely related to ginger than apples. Okay, that was a lot. 1 second. Banana trees are rhizomes. What is a rhizome? We're learning things today, people. What is a rhizome? R-H-I-Z-O-M-E for everybody following along. Rhizome, a continuously growing horizontal underground stem, which puts out lateral shoots and adventitious roots at interval. Okay, we're gonna look up adventitious. Spell it or say it.
Adventitious.
Adventitious. I was correct. Happening or carried on according to chance rather than design or inherent nature. Okay. Formed accidentally or in an unusual. Can I speak? Hello. Unusual. Formed. Okay. Let's take a break. Diet Coke time. We're getting into this, people. The botany definition. Here we go. We're back. Growing directly from the stem or upper part of a plant. Okay, we know what adventitious means now. Back to bananas. Bananas are the result of cloning, which involves reproducing the exact same plant without fertilization. While this is admittedly pretty cool, it's also a bad sign. The thing that makes bananas so prolific is also what might lead to their extinction. Whoa, hold on, people. Wait a minute. Wow, extinction. Bananas are going to be extinct because we keep cloning them and not actually letting them reproduce. Bananas are believed to have first been propagated in the Cook region of New Guinea around 8,000 BC. Okay, 8,000 years before Jesus, bananas were propagated. That's a long time. The seedless banana variety we eat today is called Cavendish, named after William Cavendish, the 7th Duke of Devonshire. Hate him. Already hate him. In the 19th century, the Duke inherited a few banana plants and farmed them in England. They soon became a cash crop, as is everything in the capitalist world. Because we have capitalized on bananas, now they're dying. So give it up. Give it up for capitalism, everyone. That's really great. The Panama disease epidemic of the late 19th century wiped out the market-leading ultra-flavoral Gros Michel. Huh? Oh, they're a different they're called Big Mike bananas. The epidemic wiped them out. Cavendish bananas are currently being threatened all over the world by a disease called Tropical Race 4, or TR4, which could see the extinction of bananas possibly in our lifetime. Wow. So is that why we're cloning them? Is because there's a disease, a banana disease. How interesting. Cloning is not unknown in the natural world. In fact, the term parthenocarpy describes fruiting without fertilization as opposed to something that only happens in the lab. However, Cavendish bananas are exclusively cloned and are propagated asexually through grafting or the use of tissue cultures. Because they're all identical, commercial bananas are considered a monocrop because banana plantations only grow high concentrations of banana trees. That practice is known as monoculture. Monoculture isn't just bad for the fruits, while having no species diversity hurts its chances of surviving catastrophic diseases like TR4. It also attracts pests, damages the ecosystem, and deprives many pollinator species of needed safety and sustenance. A banana polyculture used to exist, but as its seeds were bred out, so was their biodiversity, and monoculture growing systems are more profitable. Monoculture crops like Cavendish are likely to go the way of the Gros Michel, the Big Mike ones that were killed by the epidemic, and succumb to disease because most of their natural defenses have been bred or planted out. It's our fault. You guys, we need to save the bananas. I'm going to start a GoFundMe for the bananas. We can't lose them. We can't lose bananas. They're so, important. Okay? Banana bread. Have you ever had banana bread? My mom makes the best banana bread to ever exist in the human world. Okay? And if we lose bananas, I can't take that. Moving on. Strawberries, not berries. So why is it called strawberry? And that's really about to piss me off, actually. Why are strawberries called strawberries? Thank you. The name was changed to strawberry, possibly from the practice of English children threading the berries on pieces of straw for sale. What? Capitalism. Or from the 19th century practice of laying straw around the strawberry plants to protect them from bad weather. Okay, the straw thing. Okay, that's where the straw comes from. Cool. So they like wrap them around straws to protect the plants and stuff. To be a berry, the food must have one ovary. The berries as we know them, strawberries, raspberries, and blackberries have more than one ovary. As a result, botanists consider fruits like strawberries a pseudocarp or false fruit. Now that's interesting. So they talked about raspberries and blackberries too. So let's see if they're actual berries. Raspberries. Are raspberries berries? Not berries! They're not berries! What about blackberries? You guys. You guys. Hey. Listen up, okay? Blackberries, raspberries, and strawberries are not berries. Are you listening? I'm upset. I'm really upset. Okay? Because the English language has failed us once again, people. This is unacceptable. We are sitting here lying to ourselves every day because blackberry, raspberry, strawberry, they're not even berries. Are we even real? Like, what's happening? What are berries? And here we go. List of berries. Ready? I'm about to blow your mind right now, and I'm going to be really upset. List of berries. I bet you very few of these are actually have berry in the name. Here we go. Cranberry. Well, cranberry, blueberry, elderberry, gooseberry, boysenberry. So I was wrong. They're all berries. Acai berries, cloudberry, huckleberry, chokeberry, currant, love currant, gooseberry, goji berry, grapes. Okay, grapes. Grapes are berries, people. Avocados are berries. Yeah, that's about to really make me mad. Yeah, it's about to make me mad. Grapes, tomatoes, eggplants, all berries. All berries. Now, here's what you need to know. This doesn't matter. But maybe it does matter to you, because here's what we can divulge from this conversation is it's a fun party trick, okay? If you go to a party and you're maybe not the most outgoing person like me, maybe you just say, hey guys, did you know that strawberries aren't berries? And everybody's gonna be like, no, you're wrong. And then you get to pull it up and be right. There's nothing better than being right in the middle of a room full of stupid people, okay? Now, that's important for you because now you have a fact you can give to people that makes you and them think you're really smart, when in reality, you're probably not that smart. Maybe you are. I don't know. I know I am really smart, so that's good. The next time you're at a grocery store and you're with your friends, you can just go to the bananas and say, these are berries. And go to the strawberries and say, these are not berries. And that's going to be, what it is. So, maybe we can just start a fruit revolution. Who's with me? We're going to take down the fruit complex business society. Okay? We're bringing it down. The people have had enough. We're going to name fruits how they should be. Okay? And I'm starting this revolution right now. We're getting to the bottom of this, and whoever's in charge, they're going to pay. Moving on. Next section of the podcast. Here we go. Everything. Okay? This is going to be a topic. Each episode is going to have 3 sections. We've gone over this. The everything section is always going to be something about my opinion. And my opinions are kind of known to cause a little bit of controversy. So I thought it would be fun to just go off on something that people are going to be mad about. And I don't really care. So without further ado, segment everything, topic, men and open-toed shoes. I'm going to give you a second to just be ready for this because I have lots of opinions on men wearing open-toed shoes. Okay? Here we go. Now, I know some of you are already upset because you're a consistent open-toed shoes wearer. And I feel very passionately about this subject. And I want to preface this by saying that you should do anything that makes you feel comfortable in the comfort of your own home. Okay? But when we step outside and we are around the public, we've got to be a little more conscious about what we are serving, the looks we are giving to the people. This is it. We are being representatives of ourselves. Our outfits, our style choices are all a representation of who we are. And if you step outside in open-toed shoes as a man and your feet are nasty and unpedicured, I'm offended. Everybody knows you're nasty. You might be thinking, oh, they don't even look at my shoes. Oh, and I don't even know, like, who cares what shoes you wear? I care. Okay? I care. Because your shoes, your feet are nasty. I get it. It's hot. You want to feel breeze between your toes or whatever that is. That's kind of weird, but whatever. There are rules when it comes to open-toed shoes for men. And when those rules are violated, we all lose dignity as men. Okay? You're hurting the society of men in this world by wearing open-toed shoes. Now, I will say that there are some areas of the world where men love to wear open-toed shoes. For example, in Asia, where I live in South Korea. In Asia, a lot of people wear open-toed shoes. Okay? Here's the thing, though. I don't want to say most, a lot of the time, if I were to go out right now, well, it's not right now because it's winter, it's so cold. If I were to go out in public on a summer day and look at people's shoes, which I do, I will notice that they're actually not that unkempt. They're not that bad. Now, in America, in the United States of America, that is not the case, okay? Because men have nasty feet in America. Potato chip toenails. We got, what is it called? Ingrown toenails. Gross feet. They're just not kept up. They're just not well pedicured. And it's unfortunate that really good-looking people are not taking care of their feet. Okay? Now, I'm going to go ahead and disclaim. I'm not one for open-toed shoes. I don't really wear open-toed shoes. It's going to be shocking if you ever see me in public with open-toed shoes. All right? Because, I don't think my feet are something to gawk at. Nothing too crazy going on there. If I had model feet, maybe, but I don't. So I choose to save people by wearing closed-toed shoes. With this conversation, we have a couple things to talk about. Crocs. We're going to start there because let's be real about this, people. Crocs have had their moment. Okay? They've had their moment, and I love it. If you love your Crocs, great. But you know what? It's time to move on. It's time to put the Crocs aside. We can wear them in the house. I know people love to do housework in them, and that's great. Leave them in the house. Fantastic. But the time has come for us to move on past Crocs in public. When I see grown men walking around in open-toed Crocs, I get concerned. Because that's 2 violations. Crocs and open-toed Crocs. That's not okay. You need help. Go to a head shrink or something because it's a problem. Crocs are one thing. They're comfortable, they're versatile, they have their place. But they're just so clunky and just weird. I'm not into it. It's not flattering. It can really screw up a whole outfit. And those stupid little charms, the Jibbitz little charms, why are you 40 years old and you have charms on your shoes? Take a deep look at yourself in the mirror, if you even have one, okay? Because I know a lot of men don't even look in mirrors. Because that's just an issue. It's not a statement piece. Your Crocs are not a statement piece. And if you think your Crocs are a statement piece, get help. Maybe try BetterHelp. Maybe they'll sponsor this video. Now that's Crocs. We're going to leave that there. Let's talk about loafers. Loafers are egregious. They're not stylish, actually. They make your feet look weird. They like cut off before the ankle, and it makes your feet look really big. What's even worse is loafers without socks. There's a very fine line between like effortlessly chic and please God put on some socks. Not wearing socks in your loafers means you're lazy. It's 95 degrees outside, your feet are sweating, and you think it's cute to wear loafers with no socks. Especially if you're on an airplane. We don't need to be wearing loafers with no socks because the whole economy cabin is filled with your nasty feet. And that's not okay. It's just, and we want to say, oh, we're dressing them up or we're dressing them down. Just wear dress shoes or athletic shoes. Pick one, okay? Pick one. We don't wear loafers with no socks with a suit. You're crazy and you're ugly, maybe. It's ridiculous. Okay. We're going to move on. And I'm getting more and more upset. We're going to take a Diet Coke break. That makes it all better. One more. Now, we're moving on to segment 3. Nothing at all. And this section of the podcast is going to be probably just a bunch of life observations or little nuggets of wisdom that I don't have, or, things I've learned throughout my relatively short life with a lot of success. And I think people can learn from some of the things I've been through. And so I want to take this opportunity, this first podcast, to talk about Diet Coke. And it's really important that we have this conversation on this podcast. As one of my favorite podcasters says, we're going to fry the little fish, okay? Diet Coke is a cultural icon, okay? Diet Coke is amazing. It's the best thing ever made for human consumption. And I'm really sick and tired of all the people that go around gallivanting around and talking about, don't you know how unhealthy that is for you? Oh, you're just drinking a can of cancer. How about this? How about shut up? It's not about you. I'm not drinking Diet Coke to please you, sir, ma'am. It's for me, okay? It's for me. So don't come at me with anything talking about, oh, it's bad for you. I don't care, obviously. And anybody who comes up in here and starts talking about, oh, Coke Zero and Diet Coke are the same, you're an idiot. And it's not true. I don't understand how you can be so full of lies and deceit to believe that Coke Zero and Diet Coke are the same, because they're not at all. They're not the same at all. And it's ridiculous for people to be saying, like, oh, they're just the same, just drink Coke Zero instead. No, I'm not going to do that. And don't get me started on Diet Pepsi. Okay? No, I'm not drinking that. Get that off the table. I'm not drinking that. I'll take Mountain Dew before I take Diet Pepsi. It's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous that restaurants are serving Pepsi. What is it, cheaper? Let's find out. Is Pepsi cheaper than Coke for restaurants? Okay, we have Quora and Reddit. Let's see. Reddit. We have Reddit. Here we go. A large amount of people still want Pepsi. And also some fast food restaurants are actually owned by Pepsi. Now, that is interesting. Now, what fast food restaurants are owned by Pepsi? Are owned by Pepsi. Oh my goodness. You guys. Oh, no. You guys, they own Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC. Well, we knew about Taco Bell because they sell Baja Blast. Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC together have 29,000 units around the world. That's more than McDonald's, which has 21,000. Wow. So we're boycotting Pizza Hut, Taco Bell, and KFC. Okay? We're not going there. We're not spending our money there. We're not even getting a Chalupa Supreme. We're not getting a Doritos Locos Taco. We're not getting a Chicken Little. We're not getting a pepperoni pizza, because Pizza Hut's not even good, okay? Let's make that very clear. Pizza Hut is not even close to as good as some of the other pizza chains. So what we can devise, actually, is that Pepsi owns some of the worst fast food chains. Pizza Hut, definitely on the bottom tier. KFC, not as good as they used to be at all. Not even close. I would rather go to Cane's, Zaxby's, Popeyes over KFC literally any day of the week. They're not special anymore. Taco Bell, you know, they can exist. It's okay. The only reason Taco Bell can exist is Baja Blast, and we all know that's true. We all know that's true, okay? That's the only reason they're still here, because they keep taking off the good menu items at Taco Bell, and I'm not here for that, all right? Now, why do other restaurants sell Pepsi? I can't really find a good answer. I assume they're somewhat the same price. It does say that Pepsi is markedly cheaper than Coke for restaurants. So if you're a newer restaurant and you're looking for beverage options, you're going to probably pick Pepsi because it's cheaper. If I ever opened a restaurant, which will be happening in the not the near future, probably in the far future when I'm old, it will serve Coke. I will go into debt to serve Coke at my restaurant because we're not having Pepsi. No, it's just not happening. And it's just, there's nothing better to me than a Diet Coke from the fountain, ice cold from McDonald's. Okay? We all know why McDonald's has the best Coke. It's very clear as to why that is. Everybody knows they refrigerate their stuff in the truck and they have a certain, formula and this and that. But what McDonald's has done recently, and I noticed this on my trip back to the States this past Christmas, is that their straws are different. And that is a really big issue because McDonald's straws are bigger, the old ones at least, are bigger than normal straws. So you get more of the Diet Coke in the big straw than you do in the littler ones that they have now. And that actually really changed a lot. I didn't enjoy it as much. Like, I want a good amount of Diet Coke to come through that straw. And it was really unfortunate that McDonald's made that very poor business decision. It probably had something to do with plastic and them wanting to help the environment. But let's be honest, McDonald's is not helping the environment. You can't biogenetically modify chicken nuggets and then say, oh, but we want our straws to be smaller because we want to save the universe. No. You're posing. You're a poser. McDonald's, you're a poser, and I still love you, okay? I still love you for that. And I just need you to have the bigger straws back. That's all. And you'll be fine. Because, I would go to other fast food restaurants and get whatever meal I wanted, and then go to McDonald's to get my drink. Anybody else? Put it in the comments. Who else will get their drink just at McDonald's and their meal everywhere else? I've done that so many times. And it just works out. It works out. Now, I want to know who has the most money, Coke or Pepsi? Coke versus Pepsi. Market stock price, market share. Let's go stock price. Okay. Financial.com. Pepsi-Co. They're up 4.28% in the market right now. It is a sell. So if you have stock in Pepsi-Co, sell it. Okay. The share price of Pepsi is $142.64. The share price for Coca-Cola is $61.07. So that seems lower. It doesn't seem, it is lower. So I guess Coca-Cola has less stock than Pepsi. Is Coke or Pepsi better to invest in? If you are a dividend investor, the answer is PepsiCo. For starters, Coca-Cola and PepsiCo are both highly elite dividend kings, with each having racked up 50 plus years of annual dividend increases. Interesting. And we're buying Coke. Okay. We're buying Coke stocks. We're not buying Pepsi stocks. Actually, what if, you know what? What if we all banded together, bought all of the Pepsi stock, and sold all of it? Buy all the Pepsi stock and destroy the business. Buy all the Pepsi stock. I'll be the CEO, and I will announce that we're shutting down everything. That's what we'll do. So everybody, we're buying PepsiCo stock. Everyone's buying it for the sake of the podcast, for the sake of my well-being. We're buying Pepsi stock. You're going to give it to me. I'm going to become the CEO. We're bringing Pepsi down. All right? We're bringing it down. It doesn't need to exist anymore. It doesn't need to exist. Okay? And I just got a text. Who is it from? Faith Cole. My best friend, Faith. And she wants to have dinner, which is great. And I can't wait for her to have some Diet Coke, because here's the thing. Here's the thing. In South Korea, where I live, I probably have said that 16 times already. Where I live, you cannot get Diet Coke at a restaurant. You can't get it at the convenience store. It just is not sold in South Korea at all, really. And so you have to order. I used to have to order it on Coupang, which is the Amazon equivalent for South Korea. And it used to be Coca-Cola Light, okay? And Coca-Cola Light is also known in Europe. They also sell it in Europe and in other Asian countries as Coca-Cola Light, because they don't want to use the word diet in the name, because that's seen as not very, they just don't like to use the word diet. So they use Coca-Cola Light instead. So I used to have to order Coca-Cola Light to be delivered to my home, which was great. And it wasn't too expensive and it was awesome. Well, a couple months ago, I want to say like halfway through probably the start of the second semester of last year, it was hard to find it. I could still find it on Coupang, but I was having more and more difficulty. And finally, I can't find it anywhere. And if you know me, you know that I am a frequent drinker of Diet Coke. I probably could have 3 Diet Cokes a day, which is concerning and yeah, whatever. Okay. I have problems. Sue me. It's a big issue if I don't have it because I'm like really angry and coffee doesn't really do it for me. There's nothing better than that crisp, cold, aspartame flavor that Diet Coke gives you. And I went like 4 months without drinking a Diet Coke. And that's probably what drove me to start this podcast, is because I was going in spirals, just not feeling myself. And I feel like I'm on an episode of My Strange Addiction. Like, I just needed it. And I'll tell you this, when I got on the plane to go back to America, I went to San Francisco first, and that's a United flight. And I was so excited to get on that flight because I was like, oh, it's a United flight. They've got to have Diet Coke on this plane. I was so excited. Got on the plane, and the cart came, and they were like, what would you like to drink? And I was like, do you have Diet Coke? And I said it so loud, and everybody looked at me. And it was a little embarrassing. And she handed me she's like, do you want a can? Or do you just want a glass of it? And I said, oh no, I need a can right now. She gave me the can, and it was great. And oh, there was nothing better than that first initial sip of that crisp Diet Coke. Oh, it was amazing. It was amazing. And I had a great time in the States drinking Diet Coke as much as I want. And it was just lovely. It was really great. So when I came back to Korea from the break, I knew like, oh, now I can't stop. I've had a taste of it, and now I can't go back. I can't go back to how I used to be. We've changed. And so I went on Amazon and I found Diet Coke, and I had to pay so much of shipping. Oh, the shipping was I think it was even more expensive than the actual 12-pack. And that's an issue. But nothing's going to stop me. No weapon formed against me will prosper. And I will keep buying Diet Coke and paying for the shipping, because it's one of those things in life that you have to make sacrifices for. I might not be eating breakfast, but I will still have my Diet Coke. Okay? So, yeah, that's where I'm at with Diet Coke. And I don't want to hear anybody in the comments talking about Coke Zero is the same as Diet Coke, or Diet Coke is really bad for you, because you're getting blocked. Okay? You're getting blocked. And I will not have negativity in the comment section of my podcast. So tread lightly. Okay? Now, that wraps up the first episode of Anything, Everything, and Nothing at All. I hope you had as much fun as I did diving into my random thoughts and all these crazy facts with me today. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to catch us next week for another round of randomness, deep dives, and hot tents. Hot tents. Oh, I was doing so good. Hot takes is what I meant to say. Until then, stay curious, stay quirky, and remember, sometimes it's okay to think about nothing at all. And I hate that last line because I'm going to cut it out in post. Until then, stay curious. Cut it out. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to catch us next week for another round of randomness, deep dives, and hot takes. Until then, keep it frosty. Keep it frosty. Cut. Thanks so much for tuning in, and be sure to catch us next week for another round of randomness, deep dives, and hot takes. Until then, drink your Diet Coke and be happy. Sometimes it's okay to think about nothing at all. Catch you next time.